Tonight, the President will give the 2013 State of the Union. By the end of the evening, you will get no answers from the President, no solution, but a great speech. You will get lots of cheers because he will parade people around from disasters such as the Sandy Hook with the kids, Superstorm Sandy, which brings me to Governor Christie. He's an absolute fraud, a liar, and a very great person at decepting the American people and the people of New Jersey, just as the President. The President has had since 2009 to solve the American problem. The money was being given to the American people. No taxes, no fees, humanitarian funds, cash that's there in accounts. I know this because I have the accounts. They do not want the money into the system to save the American people. What they want is control of that money, and for the meantime, they will continue to survive by taking us for every income we have. All of our earnings, they will find a way to tax it out of our hands, raise all prices and taxes fraudulently, utilities, food, all of that. It's a circle, people. Look at what has happened to our cost of living over the last 5 years. It has gone out of this realm. Food stamp, welfare, Medicare, Social Security, education. That is not your tax dollars. That money that comes out of your payroll and your taxes goes to two private accounts in the British Cayman Island and Puerto Rico through the way of Mellon Bank in New York. That is how it's done. Baker and McKenzie figured this out in the 80s to take the bond money, humanitarian bond, and steal the coupon, which is the interest rate, to pay for those items, while your tax dollars goes to Puerto Rico private account and British Cayman Island private accounts. That's how it's been done. That bond was supposed to expire in 2017. Well, the difference in the tone of government right now in both parties has changed simply because the bond was called in. Everything, all the global currency, global debt, everything was called in. That's what the fiscal cliff is about. Debt ceiling, that's a joke. How do you raise your debt when you have no money? You can might as well say, let's just eliminate it and we'll do what we want to do. Which brings us to printing. They cannot print the money. Well, they can print it, they cannot put it in the system. They can't mint because they cannot put it in the system. As soon as they put it into the system, it disappears to go pay for the debt that can never be repaid the way it's currently structured, without the global debt holder forgiving debts and restructuring debts and putting liquidity into the system. The central banks can print all they want to. It means absolutely nothing other than creating more debt because they will be charged interest on everything they print because it's fraud. They cannot print. They're not authorized to print. You don't know any of this, but you're knowing it now. I'm telling you every time I speak to you that everything that you see out there from our government and television is fraud. They're there to give you false messages, pat you on the head like a pet, and throw some crumbs at you like in the form of food stamp or unemployment extension. First of all, the money isn't there to do it. All that was stopped. That bond was for 2017 was stopped. So now all of a sudden, the Republican and the Democratic parties come up with a way to solve immigration. Marco Rubio, after the president speaks tonight, will probably represent or present their example of what the State of the Union should look like, what America should look like. Marco Rubio is a liar, bottom line. He knows this country is crashing, has crashed. Same as Paul Ryan, same as Nancy Pelosi, same as Reid. The whole system on both sides. These people are there to destroy your lives, lie to you and defraud you out of everything you have. That is the bottom line. I've put the proof out there for you. I've told everyone, including judges, every congressman and senator in the country has the proof. Where to verify it. It's not a magic trick. It's not a secret. It's right there on the Fed screen. Your entire government, up and down, has been lying to you and stealing from you. Education. That's humanitarian bond for every American. It shouldn't be a loan. Where does that loan money go to when it's paid back? It goes to your three branches of government and the lobbyists. That is humanitarian funds being paid to you for school, your education, not a loan. They've turned that into a loan to steal from you. They lie to you to put one against the other about food stamp and Medicare and Social Security. Welfare, again, is from the bond. You have got to, as the American people, at some point wake up and say this is not right. People in New York are paying almost 70% of their income into taxes. That in itself should have a wake-up call. Climate change. Has the weather gone whack? Yes. Why? Not natural causes. You'd have to be out of your mind to think that this is all natural causes that's going on. We have technology beyond your wildest imagination. It's almost like from the movie Star Trek. Just stop and think. We have spaceship satellites up in space for decades, and yet they're still up there running and operating. Why? They're not plugged up into an electric cord. There's a little panel that's there for their energy source. Why can't every city have it? Why can't every home have their own power grid? Costs probably $300. But guess what? We have to pay into the system. Oil is everywhere. It's a commodity. Gold is everywhere. It's a commodity. We can penetrate the sources and the location from space. We don't need to drill for it. We know it's all at. And it's not all in the Middle East. It's all right here at home. We're not using it. Why? We're not using it from home because you can't steal as easily as you can by having more people involved. Every time we do a sanction, foreign policy, every time we do something against Iran, sanction or embargo, whatever you want to call it, that's just another magic trick. We're still buying their oil. We're buying it through a third-party broker. Like Italy, for example. Iran gets it from Italy, or Italy gets it from Iran, and Italy sells it to us. The more people that's in the middle, the more brokers get paid, the more money is changed hand and hidden, the more corruption. The bigger the government, the bigger the corruption. Look around you, from your local police department to the judicial system. Every foreclosure, institutional foreclosure, has been fought against you. They will not provide you proof of title of ownership. They're just doing summary judgment, which itself is unconstitutional because you're supposed to have a jury trial. So am I telling you everyone that's been foreclosed on has been defrauded? Absolutely. Your judicial system, your judges, they're part of the fraud. They know it's unconstitutional. They know that there's no, you ask for a chain of title, they cannot provide it to you. The lenders are absolute servicing company. They're a debt collector. They do not own those notes, those mortgages, those deeds. They do not own it. The chain of title leads back to Adnan Sakli in 8217. Again, these are all verified facts. I've proven it. On my documentation, you'll see I've said Adnan Sakli, 8217 and 8216. Well, I've verified. 8216 is $3 trillion sitting there right now. It's solvent. It's right there, liquidity. Government can't touch it. Bankers can't steal it. It's there. Only he can release it. Everything else in the global economy, and I do mean everything else, every asset, is in 8217. Again, it's verifiable. I've verified it. It's there. You can too. Public disclosure. Force your judges, force your public officials. They have access to the Fed screen. Anybody that has access to the Fed screen, just type in the name and the proof is there. That's where the answer is to solve our problem. Get everyone with good health care, get a roof over their head, protect their family, health insurance, jobs. We've got the UN talking about climate, green energy. We're talking about saving the planet. Well, the money's right there. Mr. Sakli's offer to put the money, humanitarian funds, free money, no taxes, into cleaning the ocean, rivers, and lakes. Do you think that would create enough jobs, make the banks liquid, create business, infrastructure in every way, and use the new technology we have, the green technology, that is more beyond what you see on TV right now? Our ability for green energy and clean energy and sustainable energy is beyond your imagination. That's already there. You just don't know about it. It is there. It's being used right now, but you, the American people, and the global population doesn't get access to it because they have you like a clown, a pet, a pawn, a toy, to just jump to whatever they say. They use the media. 3% on the planet controls all the media. So tell me, you're not being manipulated into believing what they want you to think and hear? There will be no answer tonight because until they get their hands on all that asset, they could care less about you and your family. And if that's not obvious by now, I don't know. I believe in Martin Luther King. I believe in Gandhi. I believe in the way they do their business. I believe in peaceful, nonviolent attempt to change our world. We have the strength of the population. The government works for us. Right now, we work for them. We're their servants. How are we their servant? Because we own nothing. In the United States of America, you can never own real estate because if you don't pay your taxes for 2 years, they will take it. Association, they can foreclose on you. It's all absolutely fraud because they don't own the land. They don't have the right to the land. They don't own the mortgage or the note. But when a police officer comes to your home with a gun on, you get scared and you run. They don't have the authority to remove you from the property. You're the owner. They do not have the authority. So it's up to you. I'm preaching to the choir. I'm hoping the choir is listening. I'm passionate about this. I will not stop. I will keep going until enough people realize that our world is a complete mess and a fraud. And it can be corrected in a peaceful, loving way. But it's you, the population, have to make the decision whether you want to start facing reality, stop playing with all the technology such as telephone every 2 seconds, and do some reading and research.